Yo, it's your boy Burnard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. Unfortunately, I do have to start on a somber note. Jim Shooter, who was a comic book legend, he was a former Marvel editor-in-chief, has passed away at the age of 73 years old. He passed away on June 30th. He is also responsible for founding Valiant Comics. So Valiant is a independent comic company. One of their most notable characters is Bloodshot, who had a movie like right at the beginning of the pandemic that starred Vin Diesel. He also founded Defiant Comics. I haven't read anything from Defiant. I don't even think they're in business anymore. Oh yeah, they went defunct in '95. But they had some comics called Dark Dominion, The Good Guys, Warriors, Plasm. They had a Charlemagne comic, Dogs of War, Prudence and Caution, and War Dancer. Yeah, apparently he passed away from cancer. I actually met Jim Shooter at one SuperCon. I didn't have anything for him to sign at the time, unfortunately, but apparently he got a job working in, I believe he got a job at DC. In 1966, when he was 14 years old, and he got to write the Legion of Superheroes comic. He went for his dream and basically did it up until, like, I want to say like the late 2000s. I mean, the late 2020s or so. But yeah, he worked as a consulting editor and freelance writer for custom comics company Illustrated Media. But I believe one of the most notable comics he did was I believe he did the Demon in the Bottle arc of Iron Man. I'm gonna double check that because I feel like he did that. No, he didn't. That was Bob Layton. Sorry, because they have issues that he worked on Wikipedia. He worked on, let's just go to, the most notable names. Dark Horse Comics, Dr. Solar and Man of the Atom, Magnus Robot Fighter, Mighty Sanson, Predator vs. Magnus Robot Fighter, Turok Son of Stone. Worked on Action Comics, Adventure Comics, Captain Action, Legion of Superheroes, Superboy, Superman, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, World's Finest. At Marvel, he worked on Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, Black Panther, Captain America, Daredevil, Dazzler, The Defenders, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, The Hulk, Iron Man, Marvel Fanfare, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel Team Up, Marvel Treasury Edition, Marvel 2-in-1, Miss Marvel, Phoenix, The Untold Story, The Saga of Crystar, Secret Wars. That's what it was. It wasn't Demon in the Bottle. He wrote Secret Wars 1 and Secret Wars 2. The Spectacular Spider-Man, Starbrand, Super Villain Team Up, Team America, which has nothing to do with the movie with the puppets. Thor, The Tomb of Dracula, Web of Spider-Man, What If, and X-Men versus the Avengers, which was the 1987 book. Not Avengers versus X-Men from a few years ago. All right, so Valiant, he worked on Archer and Armstrong, Eternal Warrior, Harbinger, Magnus Robot Fighter, as I said before, Rye, Shadow Man, Unity, Exo Man of War. So yeah, passed away at age 73 from esophageal cancer. So yeah, rest in peace to Jim Shooter. All right, Michael Madsen also passed away this week at the age of 67 on July 3rd. So he was found unresponsive at his home in Malibu. And if you don't know what Michael Madsen worked on, you must be living under a rock. So let's just start with like some of the 90s movies. So he was actually in the Doors movie with Val Kilmer. He was in Thelma and Louise. The first movie I ever saw him in, Reservoir Dogs. He was Mr. Blonde. He was in Free Willy. He was in The Getaway. Wyatt Earp. Species. Free Willy 2. Mulholland Falls. Donnie Brasco. The Maker. Obviously Species 2. I think he died in Species 2. LAPD, To Protect and Serve. Die Another Day. Pauly Shore's Dead. My Boss's Daughter. Everyone may know him from Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. He was Bud, Bill's brother. Sin City. Blood Ring. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He was McGrim. He was in Scary Movie 4. What's the name? The Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm sure I'll come across it on my film. It's because I'm scrolling his filmography. He was in an episode of... oh, never mind. This was not the episode. This wasn't the show house. This was the movie house. Green Lantern First Flight as Kilowog. That is the Green Lantern animated movie where Nathan Fillion first provides the voice of Hal Jordan when DC actually used to listen to people. He was in Not Another Teen Movie. I'm sorry, not another teen movie. So this was like the sequel, but it went straight to video. The Ninth Cloud. Why does that sound familiar? No, I'm thinking of The Ninth Gate. Sorry. He was in The Hateful Eight. Back in the day. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's the movie I was thinking of. Batman Dying is Easy, which was a short that you guys should really check out. He played Harvey Bullock in that. And he actually has several movies like on his filmography that are pending. He also did a lot of TV work. He was in something called Vengeance Unlimited. He was in an episode of Quantum Leap. The Bronx Bunny Show. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, that was that show that was on Adult Swim with the puppets. The Frankenstein movie that was on USA that was basically a backdoor pilot to a show. Bob's Burgers. The Mob Doctor. Hawaii Five-0. Big Time in Hollywood, Florida. He was on Powers. I missed that show. I think I was talking about it like a couple days ago. He was in the Black Widow video for Iggy Azalea. Justin Bieber, As Long As You Love Me. Oh yeah, he was in the You Rock My World video with Michael Jackson. Also did a lot of video game work. Grand Theft Auto 3, he was Tony Cipriani. True Crime, he was Don Rafferty. Driver 3, John Tanner, he was in Narc. The Reservoir Dogs game, which I forgot existed. I gotta see if I can find that on I think it was PS3. Dishonored, Call of Duty Black Ops, The Walking Dead Season 2. In the last game he did came out like 2 years ago was Crime Boss Rockaway City. It was just free on PlayStation Plus as one of the games of the month. No cause of death. They're just saying natural causes. Also, this one like hit me like kind of hard. Julian McMahon passed away at the age of 56. So if you don't know who Julian McMahon is, you have been living under a rock. So a lot of people may know him from Charmed. He played Cole Turner. I think I was first introduced to him on Nip Tuck because I don't think I was watching Charmed when he came on, so it had to be Nip Tuck on FX. He played Dr. Christian Troy. That was a show basically about plastic surgery. He was in the first 2 Fantastic Four movies as Dr. Doom. He was just on FBI Most Wanted, which I believe, just got canceled in March of this year. He passed away at the age of 56 from cancer. There's a lot of like stuff that I saw with Julian McMahon in it. Like I forgot about Premonition, Faces in the Crowd, Red. I forgot he was in Red with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and John Malkovich. The Surfer, which came out last year, it's a good movie with Nicolas Cage. Check that one out if you like psychological thrillers. But like I said, Nip Tuck was really my introduction to him. I forgot he was on Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. He was Dr. Doom on an episode of Robot Chicken. And he was just on The Residence, which was on Netflix. They just canceled it like a couple days ago. And my last one is Mark Snow. So like a lot of these hit me in the feels just because like I love these people, like from Jim Shooter to Julian McMahon. Like I was getting ready to rewatch the Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer before First Steps. Why? I don't know. They don't take place in the same universe, but you know, nostalgia. So Mark Snow, he is he was a composer for movies and TV. Like a lot of people will know like a lot of the stuff that he did if I just start naming it. And I was actually talking to Samir about this. So I was telling Samir Mark Snow passed this morning, and he was like, "Oh, was he the guy who picked the theme song for Smallville?" I'm like, "No, he was not a music director. He was a music composer. So he always did like the background music that you hear in like TV shows and stuff like that, or even the theme songs. Perfect example. He did the theme song and the music for the X-Files. He did some music for Pee-wee's Playhouse, Falcon Crest, Millennium, Smallville, which I'm gonna rewatch right now. Like hearing his outro music, I'm probably gonna cry like when I start when I continue my rewatch. He did work on the Birds of Prey, the 2002 Twilight Zone series, which was on UPN, where Forrest Whitaker was the host. One Tree Hill, Kojak, Ghost Whisperer, Blue Bloods, Ringer, a show that was called Pasadena. It looks familiar. It's a show called Bull in the 2000s. But like as far as movies, let's look at his movie filmography. Are these movies or these are TV films? Oh, they're still movies. I don't know any of these. And I'm like in '93, Witness to the Execution, Seduced and Betrayed, Project Alf, Sweet Temptation sounds familiar. The Perfect Mother, The Day Lincoln Was Shot, Another Woman's Husband, Odd Girl Out, DC Sniper, 23 Days of Fear. Now that one I do know. All right, he did Ernest Saves Christmas, Dolly Dearest, the X-Files movie, Born to Be Wild. Who was in that? Was it Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Because that was the Bigfoot movie, I believe. No, it was Will Horneff. X-Files, I Want to Believe, Wild Irish Drinkers, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. He also did the music for the New Mutants movie. And he did the Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain video game that was on the PS2 and I believe the Xbox, or was it just a PlayStation exclusive? But yeah, so definitely got to give a rest in peace to Mike Snow. He passed away in his home on the 4th of July. I don't believe a cause of death was given, but I am going to try to play the outro music for the first, I want to say 4 seasons of Smallville as my ending music for this episode. But hopefully, you know, YouTube and Spotify don't hit me with the, hey, do you have the rights to that? Because I'm just going to say, I was honoring someone whose music, you know, affected me throughout my life. But I am going to take a break, listen to the ad for Dubby as I drink some, and I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task, and go to Dubby.gg and use my promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Dubby.gg with promo code AngryBlerd10. All right, I'm back. So this deals with the people I was just talking about, YouTube. So YouTube is starting to crack down more on unoriginal content with major monetization changes. So starting July 15th, channels that do not meaningfully transform clips risk losing monetization, and that includes reaction channels, compilation pages, and more. YouTube went into a few more details on Twitter to explain that. So they said, to clarify, this is a minor update to bring our long-standing YPP policies to help us better identify when content is mass-produced or repetitive. This type of content has already been ineligible for monetization for years, and as content viewers often consider spam. So I'm glad that they're doing more to filter this type of content, because we've all seen those videos of, I call it brain rot content, of someone just taking a clip of someone like saying something meaningful, and they're just in the corner like pointing and nodding their head. Oh, listen to this part. It's like, bro, get a life. Because you are just taking someone else's content and just pointing and just nodding your head like a dumbass. It's not good content. You're not even making content. You're just being an idiot. I don't know. But I'm over that. Anyway, my next story is simply this. All right, Cobra Kai is done. Karate Kid Legends bombed because nobody saw it. But Josh Held and John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg revealed that they attempted to get Hilary Swank to reprise her role as Julie Pierce for the final season of Cobra Kai. So they said, we did reach out before the season to see if there was a way for her to appear. We had an inkling of an idea about how she could come into the story and did not commit to 10 episodes or something. They said they reached out to her team with the beginnings of a genesis of an idea about how Julie could return to the on-screen universe, hoping to have a discussion with her about it and introduce themselves. They said on her end, it was very respectful, but we never got the opportunity to sit down and pour our heart out the way we typically do when we bring characters back from the legacy. She said, they said that she was just in a place where she wasn't looking to do that, and she gave them a respectful pass on the idea of even a meeting.
Oh, wow.
Also said that she didn't want us to go through the trouble of flying her out and putting our heart on her sleeve because it was something she just wasn't ready to do at the moment. And they said, for us, it was a little disappointing because we like getting everybody, but at the same time, we didn't sacrifice any huge story that had fully developed. And it's more fruit on the vine if we can revisit this universe going forward. So, confession. I never saw the next Karate Kid. So, I don't really know much about Hilary Swank's character. Although I'm pretty sure it was like the same Karate Kid trope of new kid moving into the town and, meeting Miyagi and so on and so forth. So I'm actually going to read the synopsis of this. Oh, no, so it's different. So Miyagi actually goes to the Arlington National Cemetery for the commendation for Japanese Americans who fought during World War II. And that's where he meets Julie. Okay. So, one of these days I might get around to watching it. I believe I already downloaded it. Back when Cobra Kai was on YouTube, and just never got around to watching it. But who knows? Maybe they can do a type of... I would have to see who her antagonists were, because I don't think John Kreese was out here bullying girls. But it's John Kreese, so it's possible he did just bite Alicia Hannah Kim. So I don't know, but I get it. She didn't want to do TV, but then she turned around and did season 3 of Yellow Jackets. Or maybe she just didn't want to revisit the Karate Kid franchise. Because I believe that movie did not make any money, and usually, like, when something like that happens, it kind of taints your reputation in Hollywood and makes it hard for you to get roles. So yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. All right, next story. Neil Druckmann is stepping down from season 3 of The Last of Us to focus on Naughty Dog as a whole, because there are a lot of things that need to happen at Naughty Dog, and one of those is they are getting ready to release the what's the game? Intergalactic, the Heretic Project. So they actually put out a press release on social media It said, to our Naughty Dog community, we wanted to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to our team this morning. I've made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO, but work completed on season 2, and before any meaningful work starts on season 3, now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our next exciting game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Project, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It has been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive produce, direct, and write on the last 2 seasons. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication to the talented cast and crew. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting The Last of Us Part 1 and the continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. So people read that and was like, oh, you got fired. Oh, because Craig wrote pretty much every episode of the season except for the last 2. So Neil didn't really do much. I mean, I think he directed the episode where Joel died. I'm going to double check that real quick. The line of him saying that he has to go write Intergalactic, I thought he already wrote the game. So that might be a I don't know on that one, buddy. So no, I'm sorry, Neil directed the flashback episode. So basically Pedro's last episode. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Craig did push him out. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he's the creative director and the writer on Intergalactic: The Heretic Project. Whenever that comes out, I mean, we got the teaser for that like late last year, and that's when all the incels started going off on Tati Gabriel. Why are we getting the game with a black woman? Why is she bald? Is she a stud? Blah 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 blah. If you don't want to play the game, just don't play the game. Shut up, okay? Good grief. Like I'm gonna look at some of the comments from this press release. Exactly, trying to sign me in. It's like, how you gonna try to sign me in when I'm already signed in? Someone said, bro, it's time for him to step down from Naughty Dog. We are done with his woke games. He also, I believe, created Uncharted. Did he create Uncharted? No. Oh yeah, he did. He wrote it. So this is a cuck with a blue check and a Punisher tattoo. I'm not sure how much longer Naughty Dog is going to keep getting their own way. They were one of the best game makers in the world. We all want The Last of Us 3. Might even trade a few years off my life for it, but it's been a steady stream of L's related to Naughty Dog for some time now. Huh? What are you talking about? The last game came out 5 years ago. And before that, it was Uncharted. And before that, it was Uncharted 4. And before that, it was The Last of Us. Just like, some people are just idiots. What if he's shifting to writing, directing Intergalactic, and how far away is that game? Hope it comes next year. I won't be playing any more of your games if they're going to be lectures. Oh, you mean the TV show might actually get good now? You should get Neil to step down from games too. I can't wait for Naughty Dog games to get good again. I'm sorry, I just got to respond that he wrote a majority of Naughty Dog's games, you fucking idiot. But yeah. Don't know what that means for the show besides Craig Mazin possibly just writing all the episodes again for himself. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Alright, let me attach this screenshot to this fucking fuck nugget. Alright, what is my next story? I'm not sure how, well, I enjoy it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to partake in this, depending on what the movie schedule is like in August. So, the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie will be getting a 35th anniversary re-release on August 17th and 20th. What the hell? Why the 17th and the 20th specifically? Like, hold on. Let me go to my calendar real quick and see, like, so a Sunday and a Wednesday. Why not just do it from the 17th to the 20th? Anyway, so they actually have a new featurette which is called Turtles Unmasked. It will be screened before the movie that includes never before seen archival footage, extended deleted scenes, and behind the scenes whole movie footage, as well as commentary from the film's director, Steve Barron. Turtles Unmasked was produced in collaboration with the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Evolution, Mutant, and Reboot. I really don't know if I might go, but you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of those things that I'm always gonna love, even if I don't partake in some of it. Like, I've seen every live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Mutation. I watched TMNT. The only Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff I did not watch were the 2 CG Nickelodeon shows. Like, I tried to watch the first series. I just stopped it. Like, I don't recall like if I didn't like it or anything, but I just didn't do it. And I didn't watch Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that was mainly because I didn't like the design. That series was leaning more like towards the Michael Bay stuff. Raphael had a bandana, Donatello had the glasses, which is, you know, those movies, they just pretty much screwed up everything Ninja Turtles related, because now that's going to be the gold standard for Turtles, unfortunately. All right, speaking of Michael Bay, him and Cynthia Erivo are working on a movie. It is a sci-fi monster thriller called Saturation Point. It says, the synopsis of what we know is, it says the film follows a doctor who ventures into part of the earth so hot that it makes it hard for humans to survive and allows monsters to thrive. So, journey to the center of the earth. That's what that sounds like to me. This is what I mean when I say you can get away with copying stuff if you just change the name of it. It's like when the Karate Kid came out. If they would have called that something else, Jaden Smith's Karate Kid, we wouldn't have had such an issue with it, because he did Kung Fu. So everyone was calling it the Kung Fu Kid. So I'm just like, come on, just stop, please. But yeah, apparently Saturation Point is based off of a book written by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Minnie Sheeting will write the script. The book actually came out last year and is part climate thriller. The 2024 book is part climate thriller in which the Earth has a zone so hot and humid that it makes it hard for humans to survive naturally into the zone. And into this zone must go our protagonist, Dr. Jevon Mars, who leads a search and rescue mission, and who will discover that the zone is far deadlier than initially believed. Not only that, her corporate bosses may not be telling the truth, and not all forms of intelligent life in the zone are necessarily human. Okay. I mean, I'll check it out. Probably won't get it till 2027. I mean, it was just announced, so the script has to be written. So, alright, cool. Alright. Next story is not a story, but is trailer reactions. So let's start with Project Hail Mary. Alright. Project Hail Mary stars Ryan Gosling. I believe it's Phil Lord and Chris Miller writing. Or did they direct as well? Look this up real quick. So this is based off of a book by Andy Weir, who is the writer of The Martian. Some of you may have read the book. Some of you may have seen the movie. I saw the movie. I did not read the book. But the synopsis is... Where'd the synopsis go? As Ryland Grace awakens from a coma, he doesn't know who he is or where he is, but a mix of calculations, deductions, and slowly returning memories enlightens him. He's a junior high school science teacher in a small spaceship. His mission, save Earth. Alright, let's start this trailer. It comes out March 20th, by the way.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I just woke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment. And I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die.
What do you mean?
Like the
If
rest of us.
you don't go, you die. I mean, he's not an astronaut.
The sun is dying. You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular
Okay,
biology.
so he's a middle
I
school
need you
teacher
to
in the
come with
book.
us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying. Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
If we do nothing,
So they sent him by
everything
himself?
on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I put the knot in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk.
Can't even moonwalk. Really? Harry Styles? They couldn't find another song besides Harry freaking Styles?
I understand the stakes. I do. But my place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
This might be very hard for you to understand. But some people are not good at things.
Yeah, this looks intense.
You're gonna do great.
I conquered zero G in 5 hours.
Is that ASAP Yams?
Object approaching.
Oh my god.
The hell is that? Uh-oh. Prepare to be boarded.
So, I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, you know, which was a concern for a little while.
Okay, this looks good. This really does look good. This gives me a
I'm Grace. I'm gonna
Like a
call you
feeling.
Rocky. Thumbs up. No, that's thumbs down. You would do the thumbs up. It's close enough.
Okay, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are directing it, and it's written by Drew Goddard. Wait, Drew Goddard? Drew Goddard? Did I say Drew Goddard for real? Am I tripping? Yeah, Drew Goddard. From Cabin in the Woods and Daredevil. So yeah, I am definitely gonna check this out. And it is amazing how Amazon chooses what movies goes to theaters and what doesn't. Because I just watched Heads of State yesterday. And John Cena was right in his Breakfast Club interview. That movie should have gone to theaters. But, hey, like he said, he just gets hired to do stuff. Alright. Next trailer. Amy Pascal is producing on this? Is she still at Sony? Can she do that? I guess she is, but... Okay, apparently she's not at Sony? The fuck? I'm so confused. She hasn't been at Sony since February 11, 2015? Alright, whatever. Alright. So yeah, March 20th, 2026 on that one. Alright, next trailer is simply The Running Man. I've never seen the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I never read the book. Because I believe that's when, so what, Stephen King. Okay, I thought this was Philip K. Dick book. So The Running Man is basically a game show where people have been chased by murderous hunters across the country to win money. So this comes out November 7th, so I might have to run that original one with Arnold back. Well, run it the first time around. So let's check this out. Glenn Powell is in this, and Edgar Wright, who is one of my favorite directors, who I really wish would have done Ant-Man, because he was the original director of Ant-Man, but stepped away for creative differences. Also did Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, and Shaun of the Dead. Anyway, too much tangent talking. Let's get into it.
Stop filming it!
Can we stop with like showing stuff from the trailer before the trailer actually starts?
Ben Richards, 35. Married, 1 child. In medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment
Who was that, the Wanda Wise?
Blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright!
Coleman Domingo. Is that Kitty O'Brien? Ooh.
Free! Welcome to the Running Man!
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice.
Right there.
Josh
That's why
Brolin.
you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yeah!
Okay, Coleman Domingo alone is making me want to watch this like opening night.
Him down!
Well, shit, William H. Macy. Oh yeah, I'm definitely checking this. I'm definitely watching this.
Have you ever wondered if this
Michael
game
Cera?
is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast.
Hey, buddy. You're on Freebie.
You better run!
Oh shit.
I got a grenade!
Back at you.
That made no sense. I knew that was gonna happen.
I'm still here, you shit eaters.
Okay, this actually looks good.
Hey, big boys!
Really?
Are you crazy?
Oh. Okay. This is Edgar Wright through and through. Just action comedy. Like the comedy with Edgar Wright movies is always like over the top, or it's just like low key. There's no in between. Like Scott Pilgrim has those moments of like, you know, why are you eating the bread? Bread makes you fat. I like bread. But yeah, Edgar Wright's done it again. All right, I got one more trailer, and that is going to be for Afterburn. This is a movie starring Dave Bautista, and who else was in this? Olga Kurylenko, who was just in Thunderbolts for all of 10 minutes, and Samuel L. Jackson. It says, the film follows a treasure hunter who ventures to Europe to uncover the Mona Lisa after a solar flare destroyed Earth's eastern hemisphere. Great. Okay. Let's start this.
Too easy.
So is he just an art thief?
Hello, mate.
Wait a minute. You guys aren't real cops, are you?
Is that oh boy from Dre, I can't remember his name. Jack O'Connell. Ooh. Oh, that was gruesome. My life I'm alone, I'm a love.
When the solar flare hit, we lost our humanity. You saw what people did to the world burn.
Ooh.
The monsters.
Is that the dude from Game of Thrones?
If we're to rebuild,
Great, I'm gonna go listen to Renegade by Styx now.
Masterpiece of human achievement. Jay, you have a gift for acquiring treasure.
That water was
What would I
pretty.
be hunting down this time?
Mona,
The Mona Lisa?
in all her motherfucking glory.
Pick us up and gives us out. They finally found
Yes,
me.
you're my contact. We're headed to the worst place on the planet. There's nothing there but disease and warlords.
Yep. Let's do some Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's
It's
also
definitely a bad
Krampus.
idea.
The world is a
Sun's out.
gladiatorial arena. A worthy opponent is hard to find.
I could have taken that guy.
You're welcome.
We just flew into a
Sun's
war
out,
zone.
sun's out.
Jumped out of a plane for the first time. Got attacked
CG
by a
looks like
tank.
it could be a little bit better as far as that
All this work
plane.
I don't get it. What's going on that everybody's willing to die for?
Want our world back, Jake, from these agents of chaos.
We got work to do. I love this song.
They finally found me.
It's all over us.
Never more to go astray. This will be the end.
How many tanks does this guy have? Oh shit!
Alright, when does this come out?
Fucking go get the motherfucking Mona Lisa and all this motherfucking glory. Fuck you!
No release date yet. Just says coming soon. Batista's an idiot. All right, so yeah, all three of these movies actually look good. I hope Afterburn actually makes some money because Batista's last two movies did not do anything at all. And this has a low budget, so $56 million. So yeah, let's go out and watch this movie when we get the release date. All right, because y'all just can't watch Batista just for Drax, okay? But yeah, come on. And obviously Dune, because the Killer's Game didn't make any money, and In the Lost Lands didn't make any money. But I don't even know why I'm trying to say this. In defense of In the Lost Lands, that movie did not have any marketing behind it whatsoever. But also, I wasn't going to watch this movie because Paul W.S. Anderson is directing it. And when Paul W.S. Anderson directs a movie, he obviously puts his wife in it, Mila Jovovich. So yeah, there's that. All right, video game news. So for those of you who are playing Anthem, got some bad news for you. EA announced that they will be shutting down Anthem, and players will not be given any refunds, and the game will not be playable after July 12, 2026. This is why I don't buy live service games unless there's a story mode where I don't have to play online. And I believe I only have, 2 live service games? Gotham Knights and Avengers. And guess what? I can play those because they have campaign modes. I was actually in the middle of an Avengers replay and I was like, wait a second. Did I ever beat God of War? Ragnarok? And I did not. And when did this game come out? 2019. So yeah. Apparently, Anthem received mixed reviews from critics who criticized its grind and shallow gameplay, technical aspects, and stories. Although its combat, flight controls, and visuals received some praise despite the positive sales achievements. Over 5 million lifetime sales, the game failed to meet commercial expectations. Although BioWare announced February 2020 that it would be reinventing the core gameplay of Anthem as part of a long-term plan, all future development ceased in February 2021. So, yeah, I mean, I never played it. Also, since, Microsoft, aka Xbox, wants to buy up all the game developers, Perfect Dark has been canceled. So we were actually Xbox is going to get a new Perfect Dark game, but Microsoft decided to shut down the game studio, The Initiative, which was developing the game. So this comes from WindowsCentral.com. Microsoft is closing down The Initiative after 7 years. The partnership with Crystal Dynamics will end, and Perfect Dark will be canceled. It said earlier, we reported exclusively that Perfect Dark was on the chopping block as part of Microsoft's latest round of cuts. Now we can confirm the sad news. Today, Microsoft revealed broad layoffs hitting 4% of its global workforce across every division of the company. Many of those layoffs are hitting Xbox, with staffers in various departments receiving notice today. Many of those affected include Xbox Studio, the initiative, which is sadly being closed down. Perfect Dark was set to be a revival of the rare classic stealth IP from the early 2000s. The team at the initiative was set up in 2018 with studio heavyweights including team leader Daryl Gallagher of Tomb Raider fame. Gallagher's former team at Crystal Dynamics was working together with Microsoft on Perfect Dark, and that their partnership will now conclude. So, yeah, they showed the teaser trailer. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say don't show trailers for stuff that hasn't even begun production. It's like, at least, you know, that Black Panther game, we never actually got to see like a cinematic or anything. They just put out like a photo of like the Black Panther emblem, and it just said like EA or whatever like that. The same thing with the Iron Man game. So that can die because, like I said, nothing has been shown. No screenshots, none of that stuff. Now, if Insomniac canceled the Wolverine game, then, you know, we riot. But stop showing stuff that's not in production. That's all I got to say about that. And I'm actually going to post the trailer here because it's like a 3-minute trailer. It was, like I said, I haven't played Perfect Dark since N64, I want to say. But yeah, I'm over the showcasing of, and I get it, you have to show stuff in order to get hype. But what's the point of getting the hype if you're not going to actually put the game out, you know? Alright. Marvel Rivals Season 3 is coming next week. Well, July 11th, the week that you guys will be getting this. And that will be all about the Phoenix. So, Phoenix will be a new hero. And like I said before, this game is free to play. It's just like Overwatch, but in third person. So I haven't played it in a good minute, but I might get back on it soon. I gotta see what additions they've added. They also dropped a new trailer showcasing the season 3. So they said Marvel Rivals Season 3, The Abyss Awakens. In the wake of the time stream entanglement, Null stirs deep within Clintar's core, stretching his shadowed hands across the cosmos. Power promised by the dark symbiote god beckons the awakening of a new queen. The Phoenix arrives from across the stars to erase Clintar before the darkness can rise again. However, she'll require unlikely aid from a warrior of 2 worlds who lives to fight against the tide of night. As the goddess symbiotes and the Phoenix Force collide, will you burn with the light of creation or embrace the darkness? So I want to know who's the other hero being added. Well, the other character, because it says the Phoenix will require unlikely aid from a warrior of 2 worlds who lives. Venom? I don't know. I gotta watch the trailer. So yeah, Null and Hela. Okay, so Hela gets possessed, and Hela's the Queen in Black. So I guess that's a new skin. So one of the skins they announced also in this game was Spider-Man with the symbiote. There go Jean. Jean! Scott! Jean! Okay. Blade. Okay, well I guess that's who is the warrior of 2 worlds who lives to fight against the tide of night. And they gave Blade braids. Okay, so it looks like Blade will be joining the game soon, as well as Phoenix. The hell did Jean just split herself in 2? I am just glad that they didn't give Blade the generic black character haircut now. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, that looked good. So I'm just glad they didn't give Blade the Miles Morales haircut or the Killmonger cut. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Blade with blades. I don't think I've ever seen Blade with braids before. So that's a first. I've seen him bald, low cut, fade, high top fade. No braids before. All right. Next story is simply the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We have our honorees for the 2025-2026 season. So in music, it is Air Supply, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Polino DaGosta, the Clark Sisters, Miley Cyrus, Josh Groban, Intoxable, Angelique Kidjo, and Lyle Lovett. Hey, shout out to Lyle Lovett, aka Rooster Hair. Motion pictures: Emily Blunt, Timothy Chalamet, Chris Columbus, Marion Cotillard, Keith David, Rami Malek, Rachel McAdams, Demi Moore, Franco Nero, Deepika Padukone, Molly Ringwald, Stanley Tucci, and 2 posthumous nominees of Carlo Rambaldi and Tony Scott. So for television, we got Greg Daniels, who, you know, I have my issues with for quote-unquote creating the U.S. version of The Office. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Lucero, Gordon Ramsay, Melody Scott, Robin Roberts and George Stephanopoulos, Bradley Whitford, and Noah Wow. All right, live theater and live performance, Leah Salonga and Gabriel Iglesias. And for sports, Shaq Diesel. So yeah, shout out to all of them. You know, my only issue with this one was, why is Timothy Chalamet getting a Oscar when he's only I mean, not an Oscar. I get it. People pay for the stars on the Walk of Fame, but he's only been acting for a decade. Like all these other people, they put in time. Like Miley Cyrus put in like her youth into, you know, music and the Disney Channel and whatnot. Timothy Chalamet is the only one that I had a problem with. Like I saw that someone on Twitter was like, who is Keith David? Oh, I had to look him up. Oh, he's not impressive. I'm like, are you shitting me, bro? They Live, Gargoyles, Spawn, The Princess and the Frog, The Thing, Rick and Morty. He's on Duster currently on HBO. Muhammad Ali. He did like the voiceover for the documentary Platoon, Armageddon. He was like one of my favorite people in Armageddon. And here you got a bunch of retards I wouldn't even trust with a potato gun. Community, Psych, Destiny, Mass Effect, Halo, Saints Row. It's like, yo, shut up forever. I hate people on the internet sometimes. My next story, because I've been talking for like almost an hour, if it hasn't already been an hour, and I'm honestly tired. The Boys, Season 5, production is wrapped. All right. Eric Kripke said that this is the last time I'll ever be on set. It'll be torn down soon. It's bittersweet, but my primary feeling is gratitude. We have the best cast, the best crew, and the most fun story to write, and something that is impossible to predict. The right timing. You wait your whole career to have maybe 2 of those things. If you're lucky, we get all of them. To the Boys family, thank you very much. I love you all. To the fans, thanks for watching, and can't wait for you to see the grand finale. That's a wrap. So, timing on this show was crazy just because of everything that was going on in the real world politically, which was more or less kind of parallel to Homelander trying to, you know, do everything. And it was like, and they were doing this since like the show started. So everyone was like, oh my God. They're making fun of Trump. Go back and watch season 1 when Trump was in office, when the show was actually in the middle of production. And then go read the comic, because some of y'all need to go read some comics and stop talking about things that you obviously don't care about. My next story before I get into my reviews. This one was confirmed by Deadline. I double checked. David Dastmalchian has been cast as M. Bison in Street Fighter. So for those of you who have no idea who David Dastmalchian is by name, let me give you some of the roles that he has been in. I think the first one that everyone may know him from is Ant-Man. He played Kirk in Ant-Man. He was the Russian guy who was a part of the heist. He was also in The Dark Knight, apparently. I think he was one of the bank robbers or something. He played Thomas Schiff. He was in a movie called Animals, which I never heard of. He was in Chronic. Never heard of that. Like I said, Ant-Man, The Belko Experiment, Blade Runner 2049, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Bird Box, The Domestics, which was a very good movie. Check that one out. It's got Kate Bosworth and Tyler Hoechlin in it. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. He was one of the SWAT officers. Batman The Long Halloween. He was Calendar Man. He was in The Suicide Squad as Polka Dot Man. He was also Calendar Man in Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. He's in Dune. He was in Weird, the Al Yankovic story as John Deacon. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He was basically the gelatin dude. Late Night with the Devil. Check that one out. Oppenheimer, The Boogeyman, Last Voyage of the Demeter, Afraid, Life of Chuck, Rosario, which just came out, or is it coming out? Oh, it came out in May, so yeah, I don't think anybody saw this movie. But TV, he was Abracadabra on The Flash on CW. He was on the Twin Peaks show in 2017. MacGyver, Gotham. He reprised his role as Kurt in What If. He was on Miracle Workers. He was in a few episodes of The Rookie. He's going to be in season 2 of One Piece. He's also in Dexter Resurrection, as I told you guys when I saw the trailer. He's also on a show that I'm watching now on Apple TV Plus, just haven't had the time to review it, Murderbot. If you have Apple TV Plus, check that show out. It's actually pretty good. It's actually based off of a book. Alexander Skarsgård's in it. Clark Gregg's in it. DeWanda Wise, John Cho, Jack McBrayer. But yeah, Murderbot is a very good show. I got like one more episode left, I believe. Yeah, one more episode left until the season finale. But yeah, very good show. So yeah, he's playing M. Bison, and I'm like, some of these people gotta bulk up, because like I said, Schultz got full dad bod. He was on this podcast talking about being cast as Dan, and he was like, and he obviously did some Googles and realized that, you know, he is he is a comedian. Dan's a bumbling idiot. He can play that role pretty well. He's talking about just getting in shape and not having to eat any carbs or anything, and how he's getting frustrated with that. So it's good to see Schultz taking this seriously. But I still don't know how I feel about a majority of this cast. Also, it was rumored that Cody Rhodes might be playing Guile. So for those of you who have no idea who Cody Rhodes is a wrestler currently with the WWE. Came back about 4-5 years ago. At this point, he actually left in like 2017. Started his own wrestling company, AEW, with a few of his friends, and Tony Khan, who is the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and left. Came back, won the WWE Championship last year at WrestleMania. It was a big thing. Like, they did the whole storyline. It gave like Avengers Endgame vibes, because The Rock was basically Thanos. So like everybody came out to help Cody, like even the fucking Undertaker, who retired like 3 years ago. But if he plays Guile, cool, I can see that, because Cody's whole thing is he's very parallel to his father, Dusty Rhodes, who was the American Dream. So Cody is the American Nightmare. Comes out in red, white, and blue, has fireworks and all the whole shebang, and it's got like a big like neck tattoo, like in red, white, and blue, but it's like it's a skull. So yeah, I can see Cody as Guile. Because Cody also took acting classes before he started wrestling, and has acted in a few things himself. He was actually in like 7 episodes of like season 3 of Arrow, because he's friends with Stephen Amell, who he actually had a match with. I want to say in like 2016, 2017. It was like right before he left the company, because he was over the whole Stardust shit. So yeah. All right. I guess I can cue the spoiler alert for this, because if you've never seen Batman Begins, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I know I said I was going to push that back about 2 weeks, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it now because July's kicking my ass. So Batman Begins celebrated its 20th anniversary June 15th, and I know I'm 2 weeks old, so don't even talk to me about it. I said Batman Begins, not the Batman. Alright, stars Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Katie Holmes, Cillian Murphy, directed by Christopher Nolan, written by Christopher Nolan and David S. Goyer. Also has Liam Neeson, Ken Watanabe in it, so on and so forth. Synopsis is obviously Batman origin story. After witnessing his parents' death, billionaire Bruce Wayne learns the art of fighting to confront injustice. When he returns to Gotham as Batman, he must stop a secret society that intends to destroy the city. So I actually just watched this before I started recording. This was when this movie came out. I really didn't read that many Batman comics. I don't even think I was reading any Batman comics at all. Like, the only Batman stuff I was taking in was like team books like Justice League, and I was always reading Batman family adjacent books like Nightwing, Robin, things like that. But that's neither here nor there. So Batman Begins is a good movie, but it is a very flawed comic book movie. Just because the only thing that Bruce makes in this entire movie is his batarangs. Like, everything else is like taken from Wayne Industries, which, you know, Lucius Fox has developed, that's just basically been in a graveyard because Rutger Hauer's character, Mr. Earl, just buried it there. And like, going back and watching this movie, I'm like, oh crap, there's what's his name? Oh crap, there's what's his name? Tom Wilkinson's in this movie as Carmine Falcone. One of the kids, well, like the main kid who like Katie Holmes saved and who Bruce gives like a battering to or something like that. He's Joffrey from Game of Thrones. No, the kid everyone hates. This movie did bring like a lot of good things to like the Batman franchise, like as a whole. Like the Tumblr, like you can't, as much as like I have my issues with this movie, I can't hate on the Tumblr. It's like one of the best Batmobiles ever, and I like all the Batmobiles except for George Clooney's. It's like, what was up with that big red swirling circle in the middle of it? It made no sense. But yeah, I'm just looking at this cast, and it's just like so many people who, you know, like this movie made people like. I believe like the only thing Cillian Murphy had of notoriety on his filmography by the time this movie was made was 28 Days Later. Like, no one really like paid attention to who Christian Bale was. Like, I was watching movies with Christian Bale in it and didn't realize Christian Bale was in the movie until after this movie came out. Like, Christian Bale is in Shaft playing a racist murderer. He kills Mekhi Phifer. Like, American Psycho, I had no idea who Christian Bale was, but like I said, this movie made him a star. Like, American Psycho gave him some notoriety because it was a cult following type of situation. But yeah, it's like, if you go look at his filmography, like no one watched Empire of the Sun, but even in his defense, he was 13 when he did that movie. But yeah, all in all, like I said, good movie, bad comic book movie. This has the same issues and flaws that the X-Men movies have. But, you know, I'm going to take that back because the X-Men movies are just ass. Yeah, if you haven't, for some reason, watch Batman Begins. And also, little fun fact, Cillian Murphy actually auditioned for Batman. And you can actually type in his, on YouTube, you can type in Cillian Murphy Batman audition. It's not as hilarious as Tom Hiddleston's Thor audition, but in an alternate universe, I could see Cillian Murphy playing Batman, but he would have had to bulk up the same way Christian Bale did. You can't be a super skinny Batman. But yeah, looking back in retrospect, I will give Batman Begins a 9. Just because of, like, you know, just going back and having all the information on Batman that I have now, it's kind of hard to not give it a 9. Like, if this was 2005 and Bernard was just only reading Marvel and just slowly started to creep his way into Batman stuff, then it would be a 10. But I'm 39 now, so, you know, I know everything that I need to know about Batman. episode is a 9 for me. All right. It is time for Ironheart episodes 4 through 6. Episode 4, Black Magic, directed by Angela Barnes, written by Amir Suleiman. Riri, knowing that Parker's on the trail, analyzes the piece of the hood that she took and discovers that it is an energy source. And apparently Zeke also got arrested for being affiliated with the heist since Riri left that biomesh behind and implicated him. She goes to visit him in prison and he ain't having it. Riri's mom, Ronnie, takes her to her friend, Madeline Stanton, who actually was at Carmitage for a while, and her daughter, Zelma. So they examine the fragment of the hood and detect that it is a dark energy, which is likely influencing Parker. Then they kick them out of the shop. Ronnie is frustrated with Riri about keeping secrets and never opening up. Riri leaves, and she meets up with Xavier. Riri actually has a panic attack. Natalie, who is the AI, goes and gets Xavier. And Natalie reveals herself to Xavier, and Xavier don't like the fact that Riri has an AI modeled after his sister. Parker offers to break Ezekiel out of jail to be Riri's replacement in his crew. He takes the deal, and he also gets everything implanted in him that he wanted. But he also puts out the hit on Riri. That was the end of that episode. And next is Karma's a Glitch, directed by Angela Barnes, written by Christian Martinez. All right, Riri and Zelma meet up, and Zelma tells Riri that the hood more than likely came from Dormammu, and they're in the White Castle, and the crew shows up to kill Riri. Keep in mind, Natalie is automating the suit, so Slug actually gets the suit, puts it in a truck. Clown shows up to also kill Riri. It's Clown, Jerry and Rod's blood, and Riri tells Slug that Parker had Rampage killed, and she actually holds her own against them until her armor shows up. But Zeke shows up and dismantles Riri's suit. But he's like, you gotta leave. I'm not gonna kill you. But Riri finally goes to her mom for help. Riri basically has a breakdown saying that the main reason why she even made this suit was because of what happened to Natalie and Gary. And Natalie shows her a hologram of Riri's memory of a moment in time with Gary when she was younger, and where she basically got the idea of the name Ironheart for it because a wrench fell on her head, and Gary was like, nah, you got an iron head. But since Riri's suit is destroyed, she doesn't have one to defend Ronnie, Xavier, and the rest of her friends and family. So Ronnie actually has the car that Gary built. That Gary was building for her before he passed, that Shuri restored in Wakanda Forever. And she basically takes the car apart and uses that to build a new suit. And they also have Zelma incorporate magic into the suit, but the suit's reactor cannot handle the magic in the AI, so it wipes out Natalie. Parker snaps on the team after Clown confronts him about Rampage being killed. He basically kicks them all out. Parker and Zeke go to Parker's father's house, and he makes him sign over controlling interests of all the companies in his house. All right, now episode 6, The Past is the Past. Once again, directed by Angela Barnes, written by Chanika Hodge. We get a flashback of Parker attempting to rob his dad's mansion with John before escaping and splitting up. Parker ends up meeting Mephisto, and Mephisto guarantees Parker that he can help him achieve his powers. His needs for his desire for power, respect, and wealth. Parker takes the deal, and Parker accuses Mephisto of not fulfilling his end of the bargain. Riri, unable to reconstruct Natalie, goes to Parker, fighting Zeke, who is actually being controlled by Parker. And she knocks him out. Parker and Riri fight. She manages to take his hood, but Riri ends up meeting Mephisto. And Mephisto offers Riri a deal in which she accepts that the one condition is Mephisto leaves her family alone. Riri makes the deal to bring Natalie back from the dead, and the mark of Mephisto is spread across Riri's arm. And in a mid-credit scene, Parker goes to Zelma for help. So I like this episode up until like the last five. I like this series up until like the last 5 minutes. So, as someone who has read pretty much every single book that Riri has been in, minus the Infinity comics that Marvel is doing, Riri would not have made this deal. I get it. She's still grieving and she's in a state of suffering. But Riri would not have made this deal. It was nice to see Sacha Baron Cohen show up as Mephisto. My only issue with that was he wasn't all red and devilish. Make Mephisto red and devilish. He's supposed to be red. That might be the name of the episode. He's supposed to be red. But yeah, I'm like, no. So why would they do that? But I don't write the show. I just watch it. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, whatever. All right. So 6 episodes of Ironheart. I'm giving it an 8 only because I really hated that finale. Like, you were good up until like the last 5 minutes. Because if anything, Riri was trying to find a way to destroy that hood. But yeah, it's an 8 for me. Megan 2.0. Directed by Gerard Johnstone, with a screenplay by Gerard Johnstone and Akilah Cooper. Starring Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Ivana Shenko, and Jermaine Clement. With Jenna Davis reprising her role as the voice of Megan, and Amy McDonald reprising the physical version of Megan. So Gerard Johnstone also directed the first Megan. And the synopsis is: 2 years after Megan's rampage, her creator Gemma resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, a military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole Megan's underlying tech. Honestly, I like this movie. I didn't have any issues with it. I watched like one trailer, did not give you guys a reaction to it. And I was surprised that we pivoted from thriller to a straight-up action movie. So yeah, Gemma is now an author and an advocate for AI regulation, who has a boyfriend or a partner, Christian Bradley, who actually turns out to be the bad guy of the movie. And honestly, that was a twist I did not see coming. I really thought like at the end of the day we were gonna get a pivot to like Megan being the big bad behind like making Akilah and everything, but no, that didn't happen. So yeah, it was just like, I just don't get why we decided to pivot and make Megan a superhero. And like even Jason Blum said, yo, honestly, we fucked up on this one. We thought, Megan could be like Superman and basically play in every genre of film. He said we thought Megan was like Superman. We could do anything to her. We could change genres. We could put her in the summer. We could make her look different. We could turn her from a bad guy into a good guy. But like I said, this was like when Megan first came out, we all thought this was going to be the next Chucky. But nobody saw the movie except me and like 3 other people who were in the theater. And honestly, I really feel like this movie needs a better the marketing behind it was a little bit crazy. It made $22 million on a $25 million budget. If it can make another like 40 something million, then we can kind of get a profit. But when you come out during the summer, like in between Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, and Superman, you kind of buried yourself. It is what it is. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. This is also going to be an 8 for me. Like I said, the main issue was they switched genres. Like if this movie would have came out in October or November or something like that, I feel like it would have made money. And I was trying to figure out, where the hell do I know the lady playing Amelia? And it is Ivana Sakano from The Mandalorian. She plays Shin Hati. But yeah, I mean, check it out for yourself. Like I said, I loved it. Like I said, but it got an 8. And I think like the critics like review, like the reviews are like very like pretty standard, like because everyone was like me, they were surprised that it switched genres. Although this guy Donald Clark of the Irish Times gave it 1 out of 5 stars. He said the sequel to Megan is absolutely terrible, as if nobody involved with the 2023 Cyber Shocker has any idea what made it such a hilarious blast. But yeah, that's the main thing. If you didn't switch genres and if you pivot back or like around like towards the tail end, I think it would have been good. But anyway, guys, that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to w.gg, use the promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. I drank mine. Next week is just a review of Jurassic World Rebirthed, unless I forgot something. But yeah, that's it. Rest in peace again to Mark Snow, Michael Madsen, Julian, McMahon, and Jim Shooter. I'll see y'all next week.